Yes.
Wait, let's go like this. So we want.
Is it difficult being a man in Nigeria?
Okay, so you know what? Let me just. I'll just.
Sharp,
It is hard. So I say it's easier for women. No, king women will disagree with me, but I know how hard it has been. As a man, you really don't get handouts as much. You don't get encouragement as much. What we're doing now is something that was never given to us. Nobody ever heard, we never had anybody come and talk to us or watch on TV where people were saying this is the way and go this way. For a woman, even based on evolution and time, it's always been you marry, you move off. It doesn't really change that much for a woman. But for a man, it changes every day. With the economy, it changes for a man. Weddings, it changes for a man. Marriage, children, changes for a man. We understand that women are the backbone. We understand that you need a strong woman behind you. We understand that you need someone who supports, and let's get that word right, supports. They are not the key. We pretty much are the people who have to drive and make sure these things work out. If it doesn't work out for a man, it will probably be hard for it to work out for a woman.
Yeah. So from my own point of view, I'm not going to talk about it in comparison to women. I'm going to talk about it in just being the African man or just being the Nigerian man. So, and maybe being able, where
You're disabled.
yeah, because it's always important to me to say. So, as an Igbo man, as an Igbo man, you're brought up in a certain way. If you grew up in a proper Igbo family, or if you probably grew up in the Igbo land or anything. So, the first basic thing is, it's not going to be easy. And you have to take care of your family, irrespective of who your partner or whoever is. So it may seem difficult in the sense where, at the back of your mind, you are thinking that you're working for the entire household, knowing fully whether whatever extra that comes to you as a help, right? So, and the economy also makes it a bit tougher, where you have to pay for NEPA, for PHCN, you have to pay for diesel. You have to pay for data, you have to pay for every single thing that even makes it a lot more difficult. So sometimes when you travel and you see that people can stay in a house, pay like $150 a month for gas and light, and it seems like pretty easy. So being a Nigerian man, living in Nigeria is difficult. And if you also want to live and have your head above water, then you need to work the extra hard. So it's not based on anything, it's just based on how the economy is set up. And if you want to be successful, you have to try to work a bit harder, yeah.
So for me, I think because of the country we live in, you know, it's the man that has to do everything. The man has to go out, make money, come back to the family. But, you know, I can't really speak for most people. I can speak for myself. The last 1.5 years, it has been a life-changer for me. I have to look after grandparents.
What?
Look after grandparents, my grandma, my grandfather. My grandfather thinks he's getting blind every day. I'm serious. He's always calling me, I'm going blind. You're old. You can't see anymore. You know, so, like, I have sisters, but they all think it's the man's job. It's Shola's job. You know, so I have to always, you know, yeah, like, I have to always be there for, like, my grandparents. Now, when you're having, like, a rough patch and you're, like, with your girlfriend, you know, she actually thinks you're a man, so you can take everything, you know. But they actually don't see that. We also need that support, you know. So as someone was saying, you need that woman to actually push you. You know, you actually need that woman to actually be there for you. And luckily for me, I think I found someone that is actually that woman. But at first, we used to fight, you know, because she didn't have to work for anything. She could wake up in the morning. She actually doesn't know if they have lights or not.
She's going to post this part for you to repeat in front of her.
No, but it's the fact. Like I said, I actually will, because I'll tell you, without this girl, I actually would have been nothing. And I say it to her every time. But as I was saying, she's someone that she can wake up in the morning. She doesn't know if there's lights or not, because the gen, if they take lights, the gen has carried itself without someone putting it on. You know, so, but as a man now, I have to look after my siblings, I have to look after my grandparents. So there's always that pressure of you having to feed the entire world. You know, so for a man in this country, it's quite difficult, but I don't know if it's simpler for men or if it's simpler for women, but I could just speak from my own personal experience that it's quite difficult being a man in Nigeria.
Yeah.
We are 60 million, 600 million.
No. I think, you know, like Shola Noble Richard said, there are a lot of instances where for men it's crazy, you know, especially financially, you know. So I like to tell, I tell people this thing. I said if there's a guy that earns, say, 200,000 naira, and a woman that earns 200,000 naira, the man is a quarter as rich as the woman. They are not even in the same economic bracket in this country, and it's the social conditioning. You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
it's social conditioning. A girl that earns 200,000 naira can date a guy that earns up to 1.5 million naira. If they become one household, their combined income is 1.7 million naira. A guy that earns 200,000 naira, again by social conditioning, is probably gonna date and marry somebody that earns less than he does, and their combined income is going to be 250K. That's Nigeria as it is, you know. It never really lives there. Yeah, the 200, because the 50, yeah, in Nigeria, right? But that's financially, but there are also instances, you know, where I felt that women have it difficult, right? And men have it easier. So in our company, we have a policy of, quote unquote, favoring women, right, in hiring. And that is because in many instances, what it takes a woman to get a job here is very, very, I mean, we can't, it's not a topic of conversation, so we don't have to go into it, but you guys know, right? And also, they tend to also, for the same equivalent qualified male, female, same level of intellect and reasoning and everything else, they tend to earn less. So it's almost like the equivalent of, the moral equivalent of like a Black Lives Matter or something like that, where you push a little bit of favoritism in their way, just because you know that you're adding it's tougher, you're adding your little quota to bringing them in. But for us, we come out of the gate, you know, in our households, you know, you see, you're a lion, you're a this, go and conquer, go and eat, go and do that. You understand what I'm saying? And
dominate.
Yeah, go and dominate. and that's just what you're like injected with. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, you see somebody, and that's why you see people successful and people are trying to tear them down and all that. Is that mentality that you must just go out and get, gather. You understand what I mean? But the thing is, when we actually do go there, we don't have mentors. We don't have people to teach us how to act. We don't have people to teach us how to be gentlemen. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have people to teach us how to speak to women. You know, people to teach us how to respect women. We don't even have people to teach us how to be, let's just call it caregivers to children. Not even like the emotional side of things, just how to carry a baby. Like, has anybody ever sat down with a man and said, no, hold the baby like this? Never. Maybe you. No. Okay, you. But I'm just saying that, like, it's not natural. You know, it's not natural in this society. It's not quite natural at all. Then even worse, sorry. The people who are potentially supposed to be your mentors and guide you are your competitors, right from the jump. They don't want to see you do better.
Thank you very much.
You understand what I'm saying? They don't want to see you. They don't want to see you make money. You know, like even on well, I know this part is very, very important too. Even on a social level, the same people that are supposed to be your mentors, people that are supposed to lead you through, are the ones still competing with you, us, the married guys, for babes, everything. They don't want to see us win at anything. So it makes it very, very difficult, you know, as a man, and this is, you know, for that to happen, you know, for us to kind of like shift our mentality, be men in the right way, and everything else.
Yeah, but there's one thing. Wait, let me just jump in. No, let me just throw one thing in. There's one thing that my father says to me up to today that makes me always think about my life and want to be a better man. My father always says to me, Shola, for you to be a good father, you need to give your kids more than you've taken from your parents. And I know I've taken a shitload from my parents. So, you know,
Not very high.
no, you know, so So, you know, there's also that pressure from that side saying, Shola, you have to give your kids more. So this work I'm doing, like I always say to like my girlfriend, Shola is not doing this work for himself now. Shola is doing this work so that Shola can give his kids better than what it took from his parents.
First of all, I think Edwin needs to open a church. I'll be the first member because I think he just really preached what's on my mind. But I think I just want to first of all just really give credit to every man. And I'm thinking, when you know we're going, when I was thinking of what I was going to say, I thought of my team. Well, a good 90% men, and it's not because I want to be sexist or anything. Again, like you, I tend to want to really favor women when they come. We've had people intern with us. We've had our admins, a lady. We've had female cooks come. But just because of the way our hustle has been, I never wanted to put a female in a position where she's not comfortable and stuff like that. But anyway, story for another day. But I think I want to just give a shout out to the guys that have worked with me, graduates to non-graduates, people that have dropped everything to follow a dream like food. And I think the difficulty or what has been the toughest for all of us is that this Chef Regs, our business is good, we're a big brand, we do big things, yeah. But the truth is we have overheads that we need to pay for, and there's still a limit to how much everybody is making, including myself sometimes. But yeah, with the little, I have people that are fathers, two kids at least, people that want to build their own homes, you know. But I think what also makes me happy is that from this small work, it's been consistent enough that these guys, you know, my waiter came to me that he's getting married, that he has, you know, that he has sorted out something in Ikorodu, that he's expecting this, is doing that, you know. I've had so many people tell me, oh, this is what they want to do, that they've put some money together, how can I support, all those kind of things. So I think what I'm saying in essence is, like, I'm happy that I didn't have a mentor. I do have now, but I'm happy that I'm in a position to support other, you know, men, because I've seen the struggles. I've seen someone like one of my drivers, hell and high water, but, you know, when it was time to support things that he needed to do from my pocket, office pocket, whatever, you know, I made sure he had it. So I'm happy that I can mentor young men that have dropped everything to follow a passion, and we can all grow together. And I think I'm trying to be deliberate and very purposeful in doing that, because it's really, really not that easy, because all of you have said it. There are too many responsibilities. I'm looking after parents, sorting out so many things. But I think I'm just really happy that I'm in a position to empower young men with this dream that I have. I think that's what it is.
Okay, I'm going to sort of go in the opposite direction. For me, I think Nigeria, being a tough country, is the perfect grooming ground for the alpha males.
Yeah.
What it does is, what you notice is everywhere in the world where you see Nigerian men, we stand out. We stand out because we are products of our environment. We are used to providing.
Yeah.
We are designed to hustle. We're designed to see the opportunities where others don't see. So I think, as tough as it is, it's been a blessing.
Preach.
Like I was explaining earlier when I was talking about the business models that we have to come up with in this environment, where people are thinking, oh, you create a record label, you plug into distribution, blah, blah, blah. In Nigeria, you start one business, you're going to enter 4 industries. You start your trucking business, you enter logistics, you enter marketing, you enter social media, one man. So you are built to be super intelligent.
Multi-diverse.
You are built to be diverse. So I think for me it's a blessing, because it has opened doors where I call business is entertainment. But the truth is, the doors keep opening based on the experiences I'm drawing from having to spread myself. I know it's tough, but for me, I don't look at the areas that are tough. I see it as areas I can grow from.
How important is it to have the right partner with you? Is it difficult also in this day and age to find the right woman? And what's your definition of the right woman?
That's tough. That's a deep topic.
The unmarried
My
man.
sister.
Should I go first?
No, you go soon marry. You've got it to the end of the tunnel now.
Okay.
It is, bro, it is hard. I beg, it is very, 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 very hard. And it still goes back to social media and every single thing that changes perception of this generation. I have seen some of the most amazing women that I thought were perfect. And at the end of the day, based on what I do or a couple of other things, it didn't happen. And I have been through heartbreaks, even though nobody will ever agree.
We do.
Please, I think there's a lot of men. In fact, I think every single man has gotten heartbroken.
Yeah, but it's good.
Because we learn from it.
It's good.
But to get,
people will never believe that you've gotten heartbroken. People like you, they'll never believe.
I paid school fees for a girl that when she started confessing, she told me she had slept with 7 of my friends.
You need new friends.
No, they were not my friends. They were not my friends. The people like, okay, for instance, I know you.
Well, why are you pointing at me?
Then you're not here. It's like, okay, look, I want to do it. I want to propose to you, and this is why. Please, if there's anything you think will come tomorrow and spoil what we're about to have, say now. I will forgive you. And my brother, he mentioned 7, and if you want to mention 7, it means they are 14.
Or maybe.
But hold on, question. Were those men before you or after you?
While
Before you, while.
during. See, some were before, and they continued into. Some came while, and some came after. In fact, the thing is, even after I broke up.
It's a last name of for. No, there's a first law.
No, but I'm saying to you, even after. So, for instance, I will say this, even though I shouldn't say it. Even after we had broken up, I saw her one last time, broke off, and she came, and while I was actually with this babe, her boyfriend called, and when she was talking to the boy, and was in that light.
That's the way you're coming.
It was in that light, and I was like, guy, this used to be me.
Yeah. How do you feel? Did he leave? Did he apologize? Did he try to get the boy's number?
But how does all this affect trying to you being an
makes it very
entrepreneur?
hard to actually see the right type of woman.
But
Because
I think it's actually the opposite.
No, I'll tell you why. So what it taught me was the ability to see before the stair line. It became an experience. It became an ability. If I'm talking to you and you're saying, oh, I'm going to the salon. I know how long it takes to be in the salon these days. Okay, no go.
Yeah.
How can you spend 6 hours in the salon?
I think we need to call Brother Richard to the church this Sunday because he is actually looking at this from the wrong point of view.
What is the right point of view?
Let me tell you what I think. Wait, let me tell you. Me, I've
Okay. Why don't you go from the singles there and come back? Yes.
I'm serious. I'm
Okay, no, let the singles finish.
Let me
Yes.
say. No. Well, I was with someone a few years ago, which is always, my story. I thought, yes, I was going to marry this girl, everything. Then Shola was still struggling. Shola had a plan, but they always looked down when she was planning. Shola wanted to be a farmer. Like most of our friends working Shell, Mobile, taking big salaries. There was no, this guy's a farmer, this guy has no life. Saved all my money to go and see her for Vows Day, just to get there. And the guy's telling me, I'm not sure if I love you. I saved my change to come and visit you. So that basically.
If I bought the ticket.
You know what I mean? So wait. So that basically shattered my life. I thought Shola was useless, but I'm telling you, that is the biggest blessing that ever happened to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because that made me realize that Shola Ladoja, you don't need any woman to tell you how special you are. I got up, and now that's where I am today. I'm at this point in my life because of that breakup. I was with this girl while I was struggling, but I never saw where I could get to. But as soon as I went through that pain, I cried, I'll tell you.
I thought women were long-sighted, because I know a lot of women.
No, some are short-sighted. But now, I found someone that basically supported me throughout everything. I'll sit down with her, this is my plan. She really guided me. So
But this was before you started.
No, this was when I was crying that somebody broke my heart.
Yeah, but your own is better. Your own came when you didn't have.
It's true,
in my case.
You can't trust anybody now.
Oh, me? No.
He can't. It's hard for me because, bro, the one they come, all they see is fast life.
No, but maybe that's what you're trying to
do. No, but I don't portray. No, that's the thing. No, hold on. I don't even portray fast life. But even they come like, say,
fast life choose you, but.
No, see,
brother.
No, let me. My own. No, first of all, I've not been heartbroken. No, hold up.
Is a heartbreaker.
No. Let me say. Hold on. No, wait. I know what no. Understand what I'm saying? Like, of course, you've broken up with someone. No, hold up. No. Of course, you've broken up with someone, and you felt bad about it, and you're shattered. That happens. What I mean. No. Either way, right? But what I mean is that I've never been in a situation where I felt spited.
When you cried?
No, I've never cried.
Of course you've cried.
I just haven't yet now. Maybe I'll cry tomorrow. What I mean, I've not been spited. Like where I felt like when I broke up with the person, I felt spited by it. Do you understand? Of course, I'm shattered. But I've just never been spited. But what for me has come with relative, let's call it success, because I don't personally think I'm where I'm trying to get to yet, right? It's just kind of like a lot more access, to the opposite sex that just wasn't there before. You understand what I mean? Because when you're knee deep, you're hustling, you're whatever, you're the accountant, manager, marketing, everything put together. You get to a certain level and you now realize that, you know what, I can pay an accountant. So it gives you a little bit more free time, a little bit more free space. And it gives you more time to socialize. Yeah. And without a doubt, when you're more confident in yourself, it's not even about having money or something. It's just you're confident. If I'm going to this restaurant to eat, I know that my card is not bouncing. 3 years ago, I could be like, I didn't check my last alert to make sure that the thing cleared. You understand what I'm saying? But now I know that the card is not going to bounce. It just gives a certain level of confidence. You're not sitting at the dinner table with a woman thinking about your bank account. You're actually having a proper conversation and getting to know someone. So, so you have. In fact, basically, the problem is choice. It's not lack thereof. Let me just summarize.
Okay, for me, having the right partner is about 50% of the job. If you don't have someone who understands your vision or buys in, it can be frustrating. I think I'm even very lucky that I kind of married early because I see all the pressures that people like Richard have to go through now. Social media in itself is the gift and the curse. There's a certain perception that is hard, to break if you're in the nighttime, if you're in the nightlife business, nighttime business, people think you're a certain kind of guy. Richard is a cool guy now. Babes can be running from him. Well, luckily for someone like me, I married early before the social media explosion. So, I mean, even though I'm in entertainment, my wife has been with me since, so she kind of, she understands, and she actually saw, she saw the dream and she bought in. So I think for me it's very important because the truth is, if I get to travel a lot, I have to travel a lot, I have to do certain things. If I'm not with somebody who understands that, it's very easy, for there to be many issues. So I think I'm just lucky.
But also, what I want to add to what you just said is, even we as men, we also have to look at it from the point of view of being the perfect person. Of course. Because we can't always try to look for people who are perfect for us when we don't even think, or we've not seen if we actually are perfect for some of these people. So that's why I said about Richard. I understand where Richard is coming from, being frustrated and whatnot. You're one of them. I know one of them. And if you ask her, she may have a different point of view to what this whole thing is. But you need to have the right partner. You need to have someone who understands you.
I bought tickets. You don't understand. I bought tickets. I flew them in. They saw my friends. They now broke up with me at the airport on their way out.
You need to they might not.
Forget. Wait. I like what Noble is saying. No, it's important. Yeah.
If you did a post, I think one of
I bought ticket 4,800.
Did you do a post-mortem and totally figure out that you're not any problem?
No, let me explain. She had people around.
Let get it out.
It's painful, my brother. So I'm asking you, where's the guy came to? You can't tell me broke up with you when you saw him at the airport. And wait.
No, Richard, what I'm saying,
wait. No, story.
I know, but what Edmond said.
She called her boyfriend.
Like what Edmond
The
said.
guy she's married to now.
Yeah.
She called the guy when I was there. She told the guy was the driver.
Richard, let me angry. Richard,
What kind of beautiful driver is
driver.
Who is the person now?
Okay, so Tola,
Mentally.
this is what Edmond said.
The guy was the driver.
No,
Why she was carrying my dog?
Richard.
I said, who's that? I said, oh, it's the guy carrying me around, the driver.
with your dog in her hand?
Baba,
No.
you know how I knew?
No, I can't.
When she was not leaving, she now gave me the phone that she borrowed from a friend of ours to give back to the guy because she was using when she was in Nigeria. The thing was now open. Baba was seeing what she was telling the guy
About you.
And she came to
your dog.
And she came to
your loved
Nigeria
one.
to see my
Edmond, you're not being
She came to Nigeria to wait. She came to Nigeria to see my parents. I flew her in to see my parents.
First
After
class,
me,
class.
thank God, me I killed myself was first class. She flew in. When she was going, like, oh, I'm going. Richard, I don't think this is when you know that place at the airport. Now where you don't define where the
Richard,
say can't pass.
you have to go on another show.
No, but Richard, from what Edmond said
As a married guy.
No, what I'm saying, like, from what Edmond said earlier on about even for men to come together to mentor and to teach each other, we have a work to do here, and it's the truth. And this is not because you're a bad person. This is not because you're a bad person. It's also because we
at sometimes
because what I see is you might have met some right people, but you have to stop calculating how many hours people spend in a salon because it's not really going to be.
The reason why I wasn't calculating before, I got into trouble for not calculating.
No, he didn't. Every
time she went to the salon, just 6 hours.
No, it just met someone who
She
wasn't
was in
for
his
you.
house.
It just met someone who wasn't for you. So what we have to do is we have to prepare you to be the perfect person.
Look,
Can I say this? This is you see, for you to be the perfect man, is because you personally believe you are the. I don't believe there is any woman who actually deserves me.
but that's the thing.
Wait,
Wait,
hold on. I don't think there's any woman. In fact, I have seen a lot of women. I've seen women who do 9 to 5, so have normal jobs, managers. I have seen regular. I've seen chefs. I've seen everybody. But my brother, when you hear people's
the female
dreams,
chefs are few.
calm down. When you hear people's dreams,
Do you agree? Before you go further, do you agree that there are a lot of
Women
very
check ourselves
good,
too.
not married women in Lagos, and they all cannot be bad? But we'll come to this later.
what is the ratio of good and bad, please?
The industry you're in that is affecting you.
Wait, it must be. No, it's not even my. No, it's not my. Please don't say it's not my industry. I don't even enter my
I
club.
see so many good girls. I don't know which one to choose. So your problem is different from
You guys, Noble. I've told you people that I honestly feel like I need to declare these are Gio, these are senior pastor. Shola is one of our members. He has been taking people's number. You Noble are clearly our head deacon. And Richard is the main customer of the counseling department. So I think when they do, like, I don't know, the Brotherhood clinic.
I think they didn't call you.
Who sits Richard down.
Wait, they were friends with this girl. When this happened, they didn't say, Richard, take heart.
All right. Well,
Friends, I did not open my restaurant for a year because I wanted to name my restaurant after this babe. Oh, you didn't know this part?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. By the time people finish watching this and people in the circle.
Maybe, please, if you're watching, I'm single.
That's a good one.
But then I want to ask you a question. It's a relatively serious question because, I've loved interaction today, and I think it's only when you guys go back you understand that there was also a release for you all here.
Oh yeah.
But why do you think it's very difficult for men, especially African men, to share? To share their worries, to share their weaknesses,
Okay,
to share their
African men are not emotional.
No, say you are not.
Hold on. Oh, no, I am. Bro, you don't be saying you cry. I don't cry now. Yes, and that's why it's paining me.
I'm not saying that you're not emotional, but I said to share it with it's your fellow man.
all right.
Yes, but that's
Is
the
it
thing.
going
We
one
do
by
not
one?
share because
Okay,
we are not. we're not, so...
We're not bromantical.
Please break that down.
I think what it is like, cause like, if you like what you said about the alpha male, and the alpha male, apart from trying to make money, is expected to be brave and be able to withhold a whole lot of things. So what Richard said about him expecting that I should have called, in the actual sense, I should have called to find out what the problem was. But maybe as a Nigerian man, I'll be like, oh yeah, whatever it is, he can deal with that. But which is bad. And so I have conversations where I watch movies and I cry. And my wife will always be, yeah, I do actually. So I watch movies, I cry for every morning, from Titanic to everyone that's like, you know,
Disney, I cry.
and every single movie. But the thing is, because the African man is not expected to be weak. No, listen,
I'm loading it in.
I'm sorry.
So because African Nigerian man is not expected to be weak and everything. So that's also why some men lie, because when they say, oh, do you know that girl? Yes, have you been with her? People lie to say, I've slept with her, because if you say you have not, you're looked as weak.
But
so
like, does that really matter? Like,
that's a different. That's
feeling. I mean, like a false sense of you. I mean, like, what does it matter if you slept with her?
No, what I'm saying.
Why is it difficult for an African man to share?
I think it's difficult because of, you know, like, we're meant to be tough, we're meant to be whatever. But me, I share. I have a few friends that if anything is going wrong, I call and I talk to them. And I think when you share with people, you know, you have that release. You know, you actually feel like, okay, yes, like as in, this off my back. But I have lots of friends. And also, why Nigerians don't also share is because the way story travels, man, like, so what happened to that guy?
No,
say how they shot at the guy. If it's his girlfriend.
He was
It's true.
crying.
So,
the
you
girl
know,
left him, he was crying. I
so-
don't have it on video.
So it depends on you. Like me, I share with some people, but there are some things that, yes, I wouldn't share. Also because there's also that shame in it, you know, which you also people don't want. Look, let's also face the facts. We all go through things that we feel that shame, you know, but we don't want to tell people because we don't want that shame to get outside, and you don't want that person to tell somebody else. So I think why we don't share is because, you know, we actually don't want to feel that shame, and we don't want our story to be said outside. So I think that's why.
So is that we're too proud?
Yeah. No, not too proud, but
It's an arrogant. It's pretty much you being arrogant. I don't want it to say.
it's not being arrogant. It's about
Being
you
a
feeling
man.
down.
For me, sharing essentially has me reliving the experience. You know, so I'm doing it all over again, and I'm trying to do something I don't want to do all over again.
I try to justify.
And try to, you know, yeah. So if something bad is happening, I can't even just bring myself to gist about it, because if I'm gisting about it, I'm processing it in my head. I'm just reliving the same stress, the same everything. When I talk about it, is when problem solved, right? Or I've come to terms with whatever the issue is. And at that point, I talk about it in a manner that is so trivial that while I'm even trying to share, the person I'm trying to share it with is almost like, let me tell you when I kicked my toe on the board, and I'm like, I'm trying to tell you how I almost lost it. I'm trying to tell you how I almost lost everything. You're trying to tell me how you kick your toe, okay? You know, so that's typically been my experience, and I think that must have come from my own upbringing as well. You know, I'm a first boy. You know, I have an older sister. I'm a first boy, and I have two younger siblings, and they're boys as well. So boys generally don't kind of like share. Even I was having a conversation with my sister yesterday. She was like, I know you're going through a lot of pressure and everything else. That just know that I'm here for you to vent, lament, anything.
But you share better with women.
And I was just like, I don't even share at all. I must have sent her.
I'm closer to my sister.
Oh yeah.
Than my brothers.
I'm too close.
No, I will share first with my sister if I share with my brothers, because like I just feel like if I'm sharing with them, then I'm unloading something behind. Yeah, for people who are quote unquote meant
to take from you.
To take, they're supposed to share with me. I'm not supposed to come
Are
and
you not supposed to tell them about these bad experiences so they can learn and be prepared for it?
I tell them in different ways, you know, like, 'cause I don't tell them about it, but I encourage people to to tell me what their own experiences are, and I try to guide them. And I might not say it's directly related to my own experience, but I will try to guide. Another thing as well is that I have 300 staff. And for the longest time, there was no middle management. So everybody is, when you're used to hearing from everybody, it's so difficult for you to just speak. You have people every minute is a phone call. This is happening. Someone's getting married. Oh, I'm getting married. This. Or this one, my someone died. Blah blah blah. Or work is tough. My boss is treating me like this, and I feel she doesn't want me to grow. You're having that experience, and it's like your own problem is a summation of everybody else's problem. So who are you really going to go and talk to?
For me, you guys have said it all pretty much. There's a shame. You don't want to relive the experience. That was brand new for me. But for me, I've been through the shame, you don't grow up with your father talking to you, so what are you going through, high school, like, I didn't have my dad, I didn't have any uncle figure, try and just ask, like, how are you? Like, even till now, some people just like, oh, Chef Regs, they just expect that I'm doing okay. Nobody is asking me last month, was it easy to pay your salaries? Nobody gives a care, but I used to be hurt and be offended by all those kind of things. So me, I just try to do better, like he has said. And I think like you too, my staff now, because I want my business to move and thrive, these are the people that are driving the business. If anybody is coughing slightly, are you going through things at home? And it's so funny, because as an entrepreneur, they tell you, what can you start learning how to make your company better, how to make your staff more efficient. And honestly, people that come into my office are like, oh, I like the way you treat your staff. They're like your people and everything. I'm just like, if I don't treat them, what's going to happen? And I find, because we're mostly guys as well, I hear a lot, and I just try to encourage and inspire to. But really, it's just because most of us are just raised not to just talk, and that's just it.
Spot on. The outlet to share is a problem. It's lacking. For me personally, luckily, my best friend is my business partner. So I know people say don't mix business and friendship. However, I think the best business I've done has been with friends, because there's a lot of understanding. There's a lot of, you're facing challenges together. So, I feel like there are more hands on board generally. I feel like the Nigerian man, being a product of his environment where he's taking on a lot of load, tends to hold a lot inside. I think that's even what I'm really appreciating about this Brotherhood platform that we're on now, because there's a lot of insight, just from everybody. So I feel we definitely need more outlets like this. We need more outlets where, maybe there are mentorship programs or, things like that, because the truth is, a lot of people are holding a lot inside.
Even WhatsApp groups.
I'm telling you, it's some form of release. Yeah, just chat. There's just too much held in. So.
I also, I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to talk about the wider, broader societal problem, but this holding in is some of the rage that we're now expressing in other forms.
Yeah.
In the economy, just in how people react. So you're holding in some kind of implosion, and you need to explode, and you explode on the weakest things in society. Like, I don't know if it's just recently, but there's been an upsurge in stories about pedophilia, rape, all sorts of nasty suicide, like nasty things in society. And I think it's probably, I don't know, I'm not a psychologist, but as a result of the fact that we're just like holding things in, holding too much in, and like.
Thank you guys!
Spot on.
This is going to be a hard talk.
Very, very.
Jesus Christ, guys. No, you all. Oh, man, I love you.